Hello, and welcome to Speed Dota. Today I'll be talking about initiation. Now, initiation is one of the more difficult concepts in Dota to explain fully because there are so many different types of initiation. Today we'll be focusing on a 3K MMR game that features a Faceless Void as the primary initiator of the Radiant, and we'll be focusing on how that Faceless Void initiates and how he fails to initiate. So with that, let's move into the game. So, in this game, you have Invoker, Rubik, Riki, Faceless Void, and Bloodseeker facing off against Witch Doctor, Anti-Mage, Earthshaker, Axe, and Puck. Now, neither team seems to have an innate strength to it. Since normal matchmaking, neither team should be vastly outscaling the other. And if you look at the net worth charts, it's fairly even. At this point in the game, there's definitely a lead for the Radiant. But I'd like to focus on what exactly is going to happen in this game in the next couple of seconds. So, what does Faceless Void want to do? Faceless Void is over here. Faceless Void, we're looking at the Radiant vision. Can see that Earthshaker, Witch Doctor, and Puck are all bottom. He's got his ally Riki near him. Is there anything he can do to actually kill off some of these heroes? Well, he's kind of far away from some of his other heroes, like the Rubik, who's pretty far away. The Invoker is pretty far away, but he could Sunstrike and add some damage. And Bloodseeker does have Boots of Travel this game, so he'd be able to come in a pinch. So in theory, Faceless Void could take a fight. However, I'd advise backing off in this case because there's definitely three heroes here. If we let it play for a second, you'll notice Axe is also down near the bottom lane, so that's kind of scary for them. So I would definitely advise just backing off, and the Faceless Void does this. He's pretty smart. He has his TP scroll, and he finds a spot. Now, what he didn't expect was Riki to go ham. And Riki goes ham. He goes after the Earthshaker, who unfortunately is carrying dust. Luckily, Riki has a Diffusal Blade, so he should be able to purge dust if he can get the kill and then walk away. However, that's not what happens. He gets destroyed, Void gets really crappy chrono, Invoker follows it up with a Sunstrike, Bloodseeker TP's in, but doesn't really do much. He manages to kill the Witch Doctor, and here comes Save Your Friend Syndrome at the end of the day. And Bloodseeker dies, Rubik dies, everybody dies on the Radiant side except for the Invoker, and there's a large gold swing towards the Dire. Now, how should this have gone? In this, you'll notice, why did the Faceless Void go in here? Well, he knew how many heroes there were here, so he should have known that it probably would have been fairly suicidal without at least calling for help from the Bloodseeker and Invoker. But Riki is the one who actually makes the call. Riki isn't the primary initiator, so he's mostly looking to gank. He's trying to kill the Earthshaker, but he could definitely kill the Earthshaker if he'd been a little bit luckier. But he overestimates his kill potential and underestimates how quickly the enemy will respond. Void, on the other hand, should have noticed, hey, Riki's either going to get this kill or he's not, but he's going to die in the attempt. So he shouldn't have chronosphered, because there's no way his team can really follow up on it. Following up on good initiation is key to any initiation. So, he chronospheres, he does manage to kill the Earthshaker, but he doesn't catch any of the other three heroes in the chronosphere. And since he doesn't have any team follow-up, there's no damage. So he kills the Earthshaker and dies for his efforts. He almost gets away, but he was a little bit unlucky that the Anti-Mage saw him. Now, what could be done better? Faceless Void should run away. If you're the Rubik, what could you do better? Well, you could lift the Anti-Mage, like he does now, and then run away. So he runs away pretty successfully until he stops running. And then Bloodseeker goes in, and then he tries to save Bloodseeker. They keep on trying to save each other. But if they don't try to save each other, they would have only lost the Riki. If you only lose the Riki, this isn't almost a team wipe. This is just like, oh, you lost a Riki. Big deal. So, definitely don't succumb to save your friend syndrome. But what does a good fight actually look like? Well, we're going to look at this. So, take note. Where are the enemy? Well, we can see here the anti-mage is farming ancients, and we can see the axe down bottom lane. The Riki's pinging him out. So the axe isn't here. But the axe also doesn't have TP, so he could either be ganked, or if there's any enemies in the area near the Faceless Void, that's some free initiation. So Rubik decides to scout. And now Rubik knows, hey, there's a puck here, there's an anti-mage here, and there's also a witch doctor. So, as is wise, the Radiant's team starts retreating. However, they stopped briefly by the puck, because Puck is going to get the Faceless Void in the Yule Scepter. But, you'll notice, sets up for a really, really nice chrono that's followed up by his team, and then they can push racks. That's a really solid initiation. Why did it work? 1, there was no axe. 2, they had vision. They had a really nice vision advantage by having their Riki and Bloodseeker on the high ground. So, look at this for a second. They have this vision advantage. They don't know they're here. They are invisible. The enemy doesn't know that they're there. The Faceless Void just needs to run away. Personally, I would have run a little bit more south so that the Invoker could get in on the Chronosphere a little better. But what he did was pretty okay, considering that he got Yule Scepter. Perfect initiation. Not perfect initiation, but a really good initiation. And what's the key? Team follow-up. So, time for a few thoughts. If you're going to be playing Initiator, you need to know whether your team can follow up. Because as great as the other Chronosphere was, down on bottom lane, he managed to get one hero and then 3 more just off to the side, so in theory, it could have been a pretty nice Chronosphere. But he didn't have any team follow-up. Whereas the difference in this fight, the Invoker's right there, he can use all of his spells. The Bloodseeker's right there, he can use all of his spells. The Riki's there, he can follow up with the damage and use a really nice silence cloud to make sure the anti-mage doesn't get away. You know, it's that sort of thing that makes a really good initiation a really good initiation. Another thing to note, if you're not playing the Initiator, you need to know whether you can follow up on an initiation if it occurs. So, great example here is the Axe. So, Axe is all the way at the bottom. This team should know, okay, our Axe is gone. Do we know where the enemy is? Vaguely. Okay, we see a Rubik and a Faceless Void running up mid. That looks like a kill. Rubik jumps into us? Okay, that's an easy kill. They killed the Rubik. Good. Now, the question you have to be asking in this situation, we're all clumped up. This Faceless Void doesn't have a Blink Dagger, but if he did, that's one blink, a little over one blink, away from getting a really good Chronosphere, if he has team follow, and we don't know where the rest of his team is. It looks like there might be some dudes here, but we can't see them. Either way, our Axe isn't here, and without the Axe, we don't have the capability to kill this Faceless Void, even if we have good lockdown. We're lacking Earthshaker, we're lacking our Axe. Therefore, we should back off. Instead, they chase the Faceless Void, clump up really nicely, like, look at this clumping. And then they get chronoed very, very well. So, that's my thought. I'd be curious for yours. Feel free to leave something in the comments if you think there's something I missed, or if there's something that you'd like to see for next time. I hope you enjoyed the stream.